Hello and welcome to the third AEC TechTV show. My name is Aarni Heiskanen and I'm a construction innovation agent based in Helsinki, Finland.
Hello, and I'm Paul Wilkinson. I'm a technology consultant, writer, blogger and journalist living in London.
AEC TechTV is a video magazine show covering technologies used in today's architecture, engineering and construction industries.
And coming up in today's show, in the first of two news updates, Aarni looks at 4 construction technology news items. Cristina Savian gives her views on digital twins. From South Africa, Vaughan talks about BIM and leadership training. Rodrigo Castro talks about his startup, Chaos Architects. And we have a short viewpoint from Sam Cowley contemplating his own startup. We look at a revolutionary new block construction masonry product, and we have a further news and events update.
Thank you, Paul. This week we are testing a change to our show format. I've done a quick review of 4 recent news stories. Here's the news that caught my attention over the last few days. I'll brief you on a construction innovation lab, new geospatial hardware, a research report and a competition. Oracle.com reports that the future of construction can be found outside Chicago at the Oracle Industries Innovation Lab. At the lab, construction industry customers can try the latest digital tools in a real-world environment. The Innovation Lab is a work site where Oracle and its 13 technology partners are showcasing a variety of digital innovations, including capture technology, 3D models, AI-based visual search, robotics, materials tracking, and so on. The technologies are used to automate project oversight, scheduling, logistics, financial, and other processes. Go to aectech.news/oracle to read the whole article. And if you're in geospatial business, you might be interested in this product release, namely the Global Navigation Satellite System Receiver called Trimble R12i. The idea behind this device is simple, but it utilizes several technologies. The receiver allows you to measure or stake out points faster and in more places without leveling the pole. In other words, you can tilt the pole and it records exactly where the tip is. In addition, Trimble promises to deliver improved performance in challenging GNSS conditions. Watch a video about the release at aectech.news/Trimble1. Building to net zero standards by 2025 doesn't have to cost a fortune and is likely to be offset by enhanced value, according to a new report by the UK Green Building Council. Their study looked at 2 real-life buildings at the design stage, 1 residential block and 1 office building. The report is titled Building the Case for Net Zero, a feasibility study into the design, delivery and cost of new net zero carbon buildings. To download it, go to aectech.news/netzero report. And finally, the Urban Adaptation Competition challenges architects and students from around the world. Entrants are asked to select a centrally located empty plot in a city area and develop an innovative modular wood design for a public building that easily adapts to the changing needs of the community. The competition is organized by Metsä Wood, Aalto University and the Ministry of the Environment of Finland. The competition deadline is the end of December 2020 and the winners will be announced in February 2021. Visit urbanadaptation.com to learn more.
Today's AEC Tech TV has 2 items about digital twins. First, Cristina Savian gives her personal perspective on the subject.
My name is Cristina Savian. I run a consultancy, Be Wise, Built Environment Wise, and I mostly bring new technology into the built environment, the construction world. I'm currently in lockdown, Melbourne, Australia. Probably like many in this year, I've been disrupted. I'm supposed to be in London right now, but yes, I'm currently on the other side of the world. So today, what I would like to talk to you, it's bring a bit more of my experience on implementing digital twins, right? And what does that mean? As you know, I've been discussing this topic for a while. Also presented at the WDBE last year, and if this year we have this new, we will remember the year for, of course, the COVID, and the new word we learned is definitely social distancing. Yeah, actually a year ago we didn't even know what existed, what there was. For us in the built environment, it's definitely digital twins. Now everyone talks about digital twins, and with that comes obviously a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion. What is a digital twin? How can we define a digital twins? Everyone suddenly from one day to another starts saying, oh, I do create digital twins. Is that really the case? And we already know where we're at. So we know, we been discussing building information modeling process for how many years? Over 10 years now. And there was a lot of confusion at the beginning of the discussion. And now it's the same with digital twins. It's no different. The way I see it is, digital twins is just simply an evolution. Now we can do more than, what we could do years ago, right? And now with the, the evolution of technology, we can now create these digital replicas, okay, which not necessarily are just 3D models, right? But if we go back, and I'm a bit of a purist in this regards, in terms of like what is a digital twins, but reality is the game changer is not just about doing a 3D model and a 3D graphical representation of our physical asset, but it's about the connection, yeah, with the physical asset and the near real-time connection. That's really the game changer. Actually, that is what we should look for. However, the reality is digital twin means a lot of different things for a lot of people. And also I can really see how, depending on what part of the life cycle, if you're talking about digital twin in the design phase, in the construction phase, or in the asset management phase, digital twins, this terminology means a lot of different things. What I would like to bring, it's my recent experience, as I had a customer in the Middle East who approached me and say, I have to reply to an ERR where they're requesting digital twins for the first time. We've never seen this before, not surprising. Now everyone, I think, from the marketing point of view, digital twins are bringing, this new emphasis on, well, we can simulate, we can do so much, we can optimize the performance of a big asset. So definitely the idea of having this, having access to, a digital replica that allow you to bring you all of these benefits is definitely, selling to a lot of people. In this case, to an asset owner who has already an asset and say, oh, I can monitor the performance of my building. I can do so much more. So let's employ someone to create my digital twin. And then I think this is what we have to look for in terms of, we really need to ask the customer what exactly means, for them a digital twin, and why. What is the question they are trying to answer? What do they need? In this case, it was actually then just a house built, okay? And they were like, oh, great. And then there are like maybe these parts, these assets that, yes, we would like to monitor because at the moment we're not doing, right? But you can see how the scope of the work could have been completely different. And it's not like, and I think it was also a bit cultural where they're like, well, we need to ask the question to the customer. We need to understand what they're actually looking for. And they say, oh no, but you have to reply to this request very quickly because there is also competition and the quick one's like, yes, I know, but you completely miscope, what you're trying to do here. You can do, you can deliver 100 and you think you're delivering what is, the client is looking for, but actually is looking for 1,000 or the other way around. How are you going to end up with that? A digital twin is not just us, in the old days, oh, I want a 2D plan of, my asset. It's, it has a lot of elements, especially for a built asset, especially if we are talking for a very complex facility. You can't, you can't track all the assets, right? You have to decide which elements you are going to monitor, which ones are you actually even just going to create a digital replica for, because there are some assets that simply perhaps are too difficult to model, too difficult to access, to access, in the built asset, in the facility. It's impossible, right? So I think what my experience is, from now answering, to this request is be careful on, make sure you have an understanding of what digital twin means and what is the answer that the client is trying to answer.
Earlier this year, I wrote about Exceptional BIM, a South African training initiative for building information modelling, or BIM. I spoke to the BIM Institute's Vaughan about the need for both technological and leadership skills.
My name is Vaughan. I am probably one of many BIM mavericks within the industry, also AKA the Baron of BIM. I'm a quantity surveyor by profession, but yet I've successfully positioned myself as the founder of the BIM Institute for South Africa. I still sit as one of the board of directors. I am the founder as well as the executive director for the BIM Academy Africa, and now successfully run the Exceptional BIM Management Program. So Exceptional BIM is, I think there's a new way of learning. And I think what's important for the learner to realize is that we need to start doing what we call simulating an experience of working in a traditional project working environment and try to translate that into a digital project environment. And this is exactly what Exceptional BIM Management is all about. It's allowed us to create this reset button from COVID-19. And it's allowed us to design a platform that enables working professionals as well as students to take their skills and manage projects and share those rules of engagement and their competencies across different communities online, obviously while grasping their skills in the latest technologies. And the advancement of technology within learning has allowed us to use this gamification engine that allows us to share information with communities in a digital or a virtual world, which hopefully will make us better professionals. Learning is all about online now, and it's about putting that social connection within the learning that gives you the opportunity to learn anytime, anywhere, and on any device. I think we can all agree that in the past 6 months, we've all been on more webinars and podcasts throughout the last 6 months than we have been in the last 6 years. Yet, there's been a steady shift in the entire ACE industry, where we're seeing this digital transformation becoming a requirement within the projects or within vertical markets. What we're seeing is that BIM has started to become a necessity, yet we're missing the mentorship and the leadership. And there's been an exponential interest within Exceptional BIM, especially from universities across the globe, where we now have an opportunity to use it as your go-to Google platform, a one place for everything, where we can provide the technology, the leadership skills. Everything is given to the learners within one place.
What are your next steps?
So I think to increase the awareness of the online learning, the awareness of leadership in practices in the market is really important. And this industry right now doesn't need any more or only needs technical experts. We need mentors. We need leadership skills. So what we're initiating is what we call this 27-week rules of engagement, where we will be discussing the rules of engagement within building information modeling. And it's our goal to build this awareness around an array of leadership skills that are currently lacking, I think, drastically. And as we need to close this gap on how BIM can be leveraged on mentorship and be more beneficial to industry practice. We created a consortium of partners that have come on board. We were fortunate enough to have ASIT as our main driving engine. And I think ASIT have been driving the initiative for information management for a long time. And most of what Exceptional BIM is about information management. Yet we've had partners now come on board. White Frog are driving the digital modeling environment with the Autodesk partners in terms of giving us the Revit knowledge and the Autodesk knowledge. Graphisoft have come on board. We have RIB CCS on board with us. Costex have come on board with WinQS. Planoly, Clive and his team have shown a great motivation towards assisting us. Aussie BIM guru Gavin Crump has been exceptional in supporting us. Bluebeam have shown an incredible support towards this channel. So I think in general, our industry globally needs more than just technical experts. We need leaders. And the whole idea of the be exceptional is to lead. And that is what leadership's about. If you break down the acronym of leader, lead, encourage, ask, digitize, emphasize, and then reinforce. And the whole idea was we've put together 27 rules of engagement that over the next 27 weeks, in partnership with our technology partners, as well as various experts within the industry, will help us unfold these BIM rules of engagement. Everybody is an expert within their field. But if you continue to think that an expert is someone who has a certification, he'll lead his whole life to believing that he is an expert, only to find that the information can never be passed on to up-and-coming professionals or even the rookies within this world. So it's very important that we continue to share lessons learned, and these are what we call the rules of engagement. The advantage of online learning is that it's conducted through a secure online learning management system that includes templates, videos, downloadable working files, webinars, best of the web for navigating building information modeling. Every course includes an assessment, an exam, a practical exercise that allows the learner to complete the course and at the end gain some sort of certification of accomplishment that is recognized across the world by the technology partners that have developed the courses for us.
And that was Vaughan Harris talking about Exceptional BIM. Next, Rodrigo Castro talks about Chaos Architects, a startup.
I work at Chaos Architects. We are a startup in the real estate space, PropTech, and I work there as a business developer. Chaos is a urban analytics and forecasting company. We provide services to our clients by aggregating multiple data sources and allowing to understand the trends, urban development trends in a particular area. And that can help a broad range of clients or people that have a stake on how the city grows and develops. This can include real estate investors, also developers and operators, but in addition, urban designers or planners, and at the core, the citizens, people that have a big stake on how they want to live in and see their city grow. Our customers are real estate investors and developers and city planners. Our biggest selling point is the fact that we aggregate up-to-date data about a particular area where they are interested in looking at development opportunities. This can help them understand whether there are new opportunities in that market, how can they actually optimize their decision making by looking at market pricing, trends, social demographic trends to understand better services for that area, but also to look ahead and think about, is this the right time to invest or not? There are several ways in which we have helped our customers. We have a very broad range of customers in the real estate value chain. So among those samples are also include investors that have been looking at particular opportunities in an area. But one of the things that I find very important is how we address the needs of the users. So we work with cities like Sipoo or Helsinki to try to find out what people want in a particular area. So our citizen engagement is one of our strongest point in trying to capture that information. Also added that with existing trends and people flow, that gives a really broad picture about how you can actually address the needs on those areas. Well, as a startup, of course, we're growing and we're always looking at new opportunities. We are very excited that we have recently started working in Norway, and that aligns with our expansion in the rest of the Nordic markets. That will allow us to provide services to investors and developers that work across the whole region. But in addition to that, we are also starting to work in Southeast Asia, which is one of the emerging and most challenging markets in the world, where many things related to technology take place. So those are really exciting things that we're looking forward to right now. Well, I would ask you please to visit us at our website, chaosarchitects.com, or please send me an email to rodrigo@chaosarchitects.com. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rodrigo talked about creating a startup, and next Sam Cowley, a digital twin enthusiast who is also thinking about his next steps.
So, hi, my name is Sam Cowley. I'm an architect. I'm from Australia originally. I've been living in Finland for 9 years. What I do, I'm an architect and BIM specialist, so working with open BIM predominantly. And most recently I've been working in large infrastructure projects such as, metro, airports, hospital, other large, sort of projects like that. Unfortunately, the COVID situation has caused, a lot of uncertainty in the market, and I was made redundant in July this year. So, I guess, like many people, it's a very unfortunate situation to be in, but at the same time, as I'm sort of looking at it as an opportunity to do something a little bit different, something a bit, that maybe I wouldn't have the time to do previously, and, looking as a method or a way to sort of set my own career path in the future, do something longer term. So what the opportunities I'm sort of looking for at the moment is I'm looking to actually start my own business. So I'm looking to become an entrepreneur specializing in open BIM, digital twins, and then circular economy. So looking how that, like consulting with clients and stakeholders, engineering, architecture professionals, how they can build towards creating digital twins, and then potentially using those digital twins for long-term maintenance of their buildings, or circular economy further down the line, creating more sustainable futures in that way. At the moment, I'm considering creating a business of my own, but looking at partnerships and networks with other industry professionals that, you know, would be able to help, you know, bring the expertise into a particular area. The problem that I would like to solve in the AEC industry is creating maybe a more sustainable long-term vision, or facilitating a more sustainable outcome for the construction industry. I mean, at the moment, a lot of the construction industry is very, very heavily polluting and very energy, you know, consuming. So then, looking at ways we can use digital infrastructure we're creating with digital twins and BIM models, and then using those models to then facilitate, you know, a more sustainable outcome, you know, long term for cities and for people in general. Because I mean, at the moment we have this COVID situation, which is very unfortunate, and I mean, a lot of people are really struggling with that. But I mean, this could potentially be, you know, the first of potentially many of these sort of problems we could see coming. I mean, prior to COVID in Australia, which is where I'm from, we had these massive bushfires, you know, unprecedented bushfires, and then flooding 2 months after that, and then COVID straight after that. So I mean, it's not just, you know, it's unfortunate that we have this pandemic at the moment, but I mean, there are issues that we sort of need to address for the longer term sustainability of, you know, our cities. If anybody would like to contact me, I'm happy to chat. I'm available on LinkedIn, obviously, so just Sam Cowley on LinkedIn. Helsinki, Finland, I think there's only one of me here.
Sam Cowley. Next, we have a look at a new building product, Spherical block.
You know, a lot of my friends tell me that it looks like a Game of Thrones house, you know, this like that sort of look, and they like it. They like the look of it, and that, you know, I'm so close to it, I can already even, you know, see it. But when a lot of other people tell me they really like the aesthetics of it, because one of the main concerns a lot of potential investors have expressed to us is like, oh, well, people aren't going to get used to a new thing. Nobody likes a new thing. I'm like, well, it's kind of an old thing. We're reintroducing. Domes and arches were everything not that long ago. So it's not a new thing. And people like the aesthetic of it. We got a series of grants from the National Science Foundation that is culminating right now in our phase 2B project, which is that building that is in most of the videos and photographs and all that stuff, and in the article that you read. And that's basically to prove the concept that we can build a better house cheaper. And so Pete's now putting the finishing touches on it, but the masonry building envelope, which is basically the technology, that's already done. And so we've proved the concept. We're in the process of getting ICCES listing so that International Construction Code is there to work with. You know, we're going to launch globally, but since we're such a small company, we got to have a few people that we're working with in strategic markets that are, you know, going to be working with us as we go and do new projects.
Who would be your customers, or are you basically licensing this technology and having others take care of the actual distribution and so on?
Yeah, ideally it's licensing. So it's a mold. It can go into any place that's producing block right now. They can take our mold, put it in their block machine in about 15 minutes and crank out a year's supply of block in a week. Yeah, it's very efficient to make. And all they need really is a set of molds. So you could start making these next week, you know. And then, yeah, and so what we're going to need is to build like people, then architects are going to be key to this, because they have to design it and sort of explain it to the developers and the property people who are going to pay for it, like why they're going to want this, right? It lasts longer and all these sort of benefits, and communicating that to the, you know, the buyer or end user is going to require a lot of architects that believe in what we're doing.
What kind of building types would you say are most suitable? I guess housing.
So housing, I think, is going to be the best market, right? Because it's the biggest market, and There's so many needs for this, but we can build schools and hospitals too, churches, any kind of building we can build. But I see a super strong market for specifically in hurricane areas or specifically in wildfire threat areas that this is a very strong need for, but anywhere. And I think what'll be in time considered the most important is the thermal mass benefits of a full masonry building envelope. You don't really have to heat it and cool it as much, and that's a huge problem all over the world.
Okay, so you have a patent for this technology?
Yes. So the shapes, there's a shape for the dome block and there's a shape for the arch block, right? And Peter has meticulously fine-tuned his design so that they go together really well. The arch block's fairly simple, but we have patented on the design, and I haven't seen anything out there that's competing with it. And it's super easy to make an arch with it. Like, those are the patents, and you can make them out of anything, right? We're making them out of standard concrete because that's the way buildings are built. But you could make it out of literally anything. It's like really, really fun and robust Lego system. You know, like you build just about anything with it.
Brian Kern, they're talking about spherical block. And next, like me, Paul has taken a quick look at 4 recent technology news stories.
I have been writing about the United Kingdom's new national data strategy. This aims to keep the UK among the world's leading digital nations. It sets out 5 missions, including unlocking the value of data across the economy. On this mission, the strategy says construction is one of the sectors with the most to gain from better data availability. It highlights the need to improve coordination and interoperability. However, it also highlights that smaller businesses find it more difficult to invest in and to maintain high quality data. On emerging digital transformations such as building information modelling or BIM, SMEs have been hampered by issues including high setup costs, software licensing issues, lack of in-house skills and the costs of training to get those skills, interoperability challenges, and lack of demand from clients. Earlier, we heard from Vaughan about the support provided by technology vendor AEC to the Exceptional BIM initiative. Also this week, AEC announced that Microsoft Power BI, the cloud-based business analytics service, has been integrated with the AEC platform. This gives the construction information toolset a range of new dashboards for common data environments, for defects, for health and safety, and for project financials. Also this week, I received a copy of a recently published book, Understanding BIM, by Dr. Jonathan Ingram, sometimes described as the father of BIM. Richly illustrated, it looks at the past, present and future of building information modelling, or better information management as it's sometimes called. Finally, with COVID-19 preventing many industry trade shows and conferences taking place, this year's UK Construction Week is no longer a physical event. Instead, 5 days of webinars from the 5th to the 9th of October will be taking place, with 4 virtual streams, including one on digital construction. Delivered by the UK BIM Alliance, hear why the digital revolution is unavoidable, hear how the golden thread of building information is being adopted, and see what's next for digital in UK construction.
Paul finished there with news of an online event in early October. I'm looking forward to Hospital BIM Open, a 2-day virtual event starting on October 28th. You get 35% of the ticket price if you register by next Wednesday using our unique link aectech.news/hospitalbim.
Thanks, Aarni. AEC TechTV is a weekly show. Our next show is already taking shape, but future episodes also need your ideas and your suggestions, and importantly, your contributions.
Thanks, Paul, and thanks to our contributors, Cristina Savian, Vaughan, Rodrigo, Castro, Sam Cowley, and Brian Kern.
We will have more contributors next week. In the meantime, please visit our website, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.
And goodbye from me.